What's up, friends? I'm Mike, and this is CMCC Builds, where a chocolate milkshake with cottage cheese is our favorite snack. And recently, while I was drinking said milkshake, I was struck by a revelation, which immediately horrified me. I don't think I properly tethered my yacht, which means it may get scratched during high tide. And then I calmed down, as I remember that my dozen or so servants take care of those menial tasks for me. The yacht is safe, we can rest easy. And it was during this moment of calm, I was struck once again by a missed detail. This one, perhaps much worse. The 5-minute build series, which seeks to highlight the most common optimization builds in the community, is missing one of the most popular builds in D&D 5e's 10-year run, the Sorlock. I, of course, immediately passed out, but once I came to with several beautiful women feigning me, or was it a 100-pound Bernese mountain dog licking my face? I can't remember. Anyway, I set aside the current video I was working on, checked my Patreon for a sneak peek of that build, and went to work on this one. As with all 5-minute builds, this is my take on the community archetype, not necessarily the most common build of that archetype. I hope that makes sense. If not, I'm always in the comments. Check them out. And you should also check out Luminous Lore on Kickstarter if you haven't already. With just a few days left to go, you'll want to get involved before it's too late. This groundbreaking 300+ page 5e art bible setting guide features a unique dream magic system and over 10 new subclasses that allow you to manipulate the very elements of dreams and reality. From battling celestial dragons to uncovering ancient artifacts, Luminous Lore offers more than just gameplay. It invites you into a universe where your dreams dictate the narrative. As someone who cherishes creative freedom in TTRPGs, I can say this project offers an experience you can truly make your own. Click the link in the description and take control of the magic realms of Equatoria.
All right.
Let's get rockin'!
For the race! You would be perfectly within your right mind to take any of the standard spellcasting races, but when you have one main stat and you want feats, you gotta go with Custom Lineage. Medium size because Dimension Door is a thing for spellcasters. I like Dark Vision more than a skill, and for the feat, we'll take Fey Touch Charisma to boost that stat, getting Misty Step and Gift of Alacrity, both free casts once per day. Super strong at level 1. For the ability scores, using the point buy method, 8 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 14 Con, 8 Intelligence, 12 Wisdom, and 15 Charisma. Boost Charisma with the Racial ASI and with Fey Touched. You will start out with that very nice 18 score. With the background, I'm going bespoke and adding perception, stealth, alchemist supplies, and smith tools. Tailor this to your exact fit like a fine Cifanelli suit. For your equipment, you will eventually want half plate, a shield, and the rest doesn't matter. Get those as fast as you can because you're not getting them with your starting equipment, because we're kicking this off with Sorcerer. With the proficiencies Arcana for Scrolls and Persuasion, this is a charisma character. You will likely be the party face. Go forth and persuade some NPCs. Right at level 1, sorcerers get their origin, and at this point in 5e, Clockwork Soul is the way to go. It's incredibly powerful. Taking Sorcerer first gives Constitution proficiency, which is always important on a casting class, and Clockwork gives added spells that can be changed out for Abjuration or Transmutation options on Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard spell lists. Such a great feature. Restore Balance is fine, but let's move along. At level 2, jump right into Warlock. This is a Sorlock and you want to get that Eldritch Blast going ASAP. It is worth the delayed spell progression. For the patron, there really is only one good choice here, unfortunately, and that, of course, is the Hexblade. Medium armor and shield, some good spell additions, Hexblade's Curse. You can even equip a weapon and use Hex Warrior to Booming Blade or Green Flame Blade enemies with your Charisma modifier. We won't, but you can. A second level of Warlock right away to get Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast to complete your Eldritch Blast and make it usable for the long run. Obviously grab EB with your cantrip choices. Minor Illusion is a good option as well. For level 1 spells, Armor of Agathis is great and can be upcast. Hex is okay if you want some added damage. And take Shield. Both Minor Illusion and Shield are on the Sorcerer list. We want to free up those spell choices, which we'll get to after the build is done. Back to Sorcerer. At level 5, Sorcerer 3, you get meta magic selections. You'll eventually get 4. Take Twinned, Quickened, Subtle, and Extended. There is some flexibility with that final pick, but the first 3 are pretty much must grabs. The most common use of Quicken spell is to bonus action Eldritch Blast, and then main action Eldritch Blast for 6 bolts at level 11. That damage can add up, but may or may not be the best use of that resource. At Sorcerer 4, take Warcaster with the feat. No need for Resilient Con since the build is already proficient, and this allows for easier spellcasting with a shield and weapon, and better concentration protection, which is always great. Bastion of Law is okay, but expensive, so use it carefully at Sorc 8. Take Telekinetic Charisma to bump that, and get the Strong Half Feet feature, a bonus action shove to move creatures, and improve range on your mage hand, along with making it invisible and removing verbal and somatic components. Your Charisma is odd, but you know I love those half feats. And we'll take another at level 12, Resilient Wisdom. Protect your wisdom saves, especially in double-digit levels. Getting taken out of the combat is not fun. Trance of Order at 14, and the final ASI at Sorc 16, character level 18. I think Treant Monk did the same thing, but take Charisma and Wisdom to max out Charisma and round off Wisdom. That brings Wisdom to a strong 14, which is nice as a tertiary stat. And at level 20, you get Clockwork Cavalcade, a nice feature that gets quite expensive on subsequent uses. Spells will end up looking like this. You're going to learn and unlearn spells as you progress. For example, at level 1, Sleep is a must-have. It's super powerful, but by level 3, you should probably have traded it out. And finally, let's look at what we get by trading out Clockwork Soul spells. They should look something like this. And that's the build. Tell me what you do differently in the comments below. The Sorlock may not be the most powerful build in existence, but it's popular for a reason. The two classes fill gaps to make an incredibly well-rounded and powerful spellcaster that can dish out damage, control, and possesses the required survivability to make it through even those most difficult campaigns. The only question is, do you blast with that Eldritch 6-shooter, or do you cast that powerful high-level spell? You know what's optimal, but optimal isn't always the most fun. Blast away.